Hey guys, welcome to Adventure Camping. Tactical Nut here.
And Sadie's not. Gas hands.
Alright, now what we're going to be doing is we're starting a series on how to teach your children. What we want to do is teach various outdoor skills and show you on camera what it's like to teach your children the different outdoor skills firsthand and from someone like Baby Glock who is inexperienced in using different outdoor tools and different outdoor skills, so that you can see what it's like to teach them firsthand and maybe what you should, things that you could try. Now, as always, safety always has to come first, so you need to get your child a pair of good leather gloves.
These are a size XS. We need to get some more.
No, they still fit you. Now, the important thing to know, it can be kind of difficult to find children's leather gloves. I had to find mine online. If you do some searches, kid leather gloves, you can find them. These were on back order, so it actually took a couple of months. So just know that going into it. But also, I like to lead by example. So while I'm teaching, I also wear leather gloves. These are my cut-resistant tactical gloves. Always keep a first aid kit on hand, because just within handling any dangerous object, it's not a matter of if you get cut, it's when you get cut. So keep something on hand so that you can take care of any little minor scratches or scrapes that you get along the way.
And can I say something about your gloves?
Yeah.
Okay, so one time, this is a funny story. Well, it wasn't to him when it happened, but he had a knife in his hand and he was in the garage and he had a piece of wood and he was just chopping, and he was like, maybe this summer we could get some gloves. And the next thing you know, his pointer finger, I think it was on his left hand, was it?
Yep.
His left hand was completely split open. You could see.
Yeah, I was sawing on a piece of wood with a
gushing blood everywhere. And then he was like, maybe we should get some now.
Yep. So even as adults, you can make mistakes. As like I said, it's not a matter of if you get cut, it's going to be when you get cut. So we always want to take precautions to prevent that from happening. And like I said, we all learn from experience. Another thing I like to do is I also like to use either the exact same or a very similar tool. This is why we both have Mora knives. She has the Mora 511 craft line, and I have the Mora Companion. So, similar blade shapes. Her handle's a little bit different. We'll show you that in a minute. As to why it's going to be a little bit safer for her, or for anyone for that matter. But let us get set up. We're going to change locations so that we can film in a different spot, and we'll start with knife handling. All right? Get back to you in a sec. Alright guys, first things first, when it comes to knife handling skills, one of the most important things to teach anyone, definitely children, is how to pass a knife from one person to another. Now, let's just say she's doing something with a knife. I need to get it from her to either show her something or just to use it. And I say, hey, can I borrow that knife? What I want her to do is put her hand along the spine of the blade. Then she's going to twist it towards me, right? This way, thank you. The edge of the knife is not facing the palm of her hand. So that way, in case one person drops, they don't get a good grip on it. You're not going to cut the person's hand open. So if I was going to pass it back, you're welcome. You never let go of the knife until the other person says thank you. That's another important thing to remember. That way the knife doesn't get dropped because one person thinks the other one has it when they actually don't. Now this is what I learned in the Boy Scouts and it's stuck with me forever. So I really like the idea of doing it this way because it takes a lot of risk out of the equation. Now this is something that you would want to practice kind of multiple times to make sure that they get it right, because it can be kind of confusing for children how to turn it in their hand first before they hand it off. So if you want to hand it to me, can I borrow that knife, please? Thank you.
You're welcome.
See? And so, just like I was telling you, I'm going to put this knife, I'm going to hold it along the spine, with the edge facing away from my hand.
And before we, thank you.
You're welcome.
And before we started this tactical nut, what if someone, if they were passing it to you and they just jabbed it instead of passing it to you? That would be negative.
Yeah, I mean, and people do some surprisingly dumb stuff sometimes. So you have to be prepared. And while you're training this skill of passing a knife back and forth, it's important for both people to be wearing gloves in case the other one messes up. Or they just happen to hand the knife a little too fast. They don't want it to shove back into the palm of their hand. So you want to do everything you can to minimize all the risk that you can. All right, now the next thing you want to show is the different ways of gripping a knife. Now obviously the most common is going to just be putting your hand on the knife like this and getting a good, strong, almost like a baseball bat kind of grip. So, okay, baby, what? Just want to, let me hold the knife. Can I borrow that? Thank you. It's all right. Now see, her knife, the reason why I like this one so much is it has a much longer finger guard on it. So this way it'll prevent her hand from sliding up onto the blade.
Like, let's say I just got back from swimming. This is an example. I wouldn't actually do this in real life. Thank you. I wouldn't. They make this a children's knife because, like, my hand wouldn't slip, and I would cut my finger. So they just do this just in case it did slip. This would stop it. Mm-hmm. And the way I hold it is I get my other 4 fingers except for my thumb around it, and then I get my thumb and I put that on the spine of the blade.
Yeah, I mean, so you got one ways, do just like the baseball grip, like I was just showing, right? So this actually gets more power behind the blade. So if they're having a tougher time cutting, that way they can force it a little bit better. Then you can do it with the thumb, as she was just showing, on the back of the blade. That gives more control, so you get more detailed carving ability out of it. And so what we're going to do
What's more dangerous, a sharp or a dull knife?
Yes, good point. Keep your knives sharp. A sharp knife is a safe knife. We say that because if a knife is dull, then they're going to have to work extra hard in order to cut whatever material that you're trying to cut.
And it would be like this.
And that way, if you slip and miss, or the knife is dull and slides off the wood, you're far more likely to get cut. But if it's sharp, then it's going to dig in, bite into the wood like you need it to, keeping the blade where you need it to be. Now the first and way I like to, all right, go ahead and put yours in the sheath so that I can show you for a minute. Especially for children, is to not to hold onto the wood, but they can put it on a log, a stump, any kind of other stick or anything like that. Don't put your hand near the blade sometimes.
Sorry.
And it's even little coaching moments like that, because people, I mean, it's very easy to just get confident when you're around somebody else that has some experience. But they can brace the stick on the log, the stump, like we have here, or whatever, and then just take it and just practice shaving the wood.
Or feathering.
Well, we'll just practice shaving first, because for a lot of kids, especially depending on the age, is they might not have a lot of hand strength yet. And so this may seem simple to any grown-up, but sometimes for children, it can be a lot harder than you might think. And so it's really just getting down the art. But this way, with the stick being on the stump, if it slides off, it's only going to go into the stump. It's not near their legs. It's not near their arms or other hands. And there's, as you can see here, I'm keeping my hand way up on the stick, way away from the blade of the knife. All right.
And here
Baby
where
Glock?
And here where I live, it's really hot, so
Well,
I don't know why I wore fuzzy pants.
Yeah, I think I should have wore shorts today too. Way to go, coldest winter ever. Okay. Go ahead, grab your stick with your left hand.
Than me.
Then sit up on your knees.
Oh.
And always remember, with the hand that you're not cutting with, you want to keep it as far away from the blade as possible, but still giving yourself control. So you might want to hold it right here with your hand underneath.
This feels weird.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? Here, let me get you a... Well, I should just probably break this one down. There we go. Much shorter, easier.
easier.
Okay, so obviously as you see here, you know, making sure they're working with material that is a good size for them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, now hold the stick up, and remember, like this. See how my hand is underneath? Move around to here if you need to. Now we got to push the edge of the knife. There you go. You got to angle it down into the wood just a little bit. You don't have to go real deep, just to learn the shaving motion. Just keep going. You can just keep going in the same spot. You don't even have to keep turning it. And this is going to take a while for any child to develop really good knife skills. So if they start to get frustrated, you can just take a short break. It's okay. You can come back to it on another day. Don't force it, because the more you force it, the less likely they're going to want to do it. Also, not getting irritated, not getting angry, not yelling. Just like with teaching children most things, the more calm, the patient, the softer your voice, the easier it is for them to learn. Now if they are doing something unsafe, instantly tell them to stop so that you can
show them the right way to do it.
Yeah, show them the right way to do it. And when I say stop, the freeze, it means don't move anymore. You come over, you take the knife from them so that you can readjust them or get them to where they need to be. All right, so now what might be easier, like I said, see how I'm holding this right here? That's why I'm saying turn this way. Here, I'll hold the stick. All right, is that a little more comfortable?
A little bit.
All right, so you always got to move it to where it's most comfortable and easiest for you, because if it's awkward for you, you're more likely to get hurt or more likely to have an accident. Now come on, just go all long, smooth strokes if you can.
Cute.
Yeah, don't be afraid to grab a hold of that stick so you can control it real good. Get a good strong grip on it so the stick don't go anywhere. And then here, I'll help you with your hand. Stop for a second. All right, now you're gonna come down. You see how much it's in the angle? You feel that? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's what you want to keep. That way you'll keep shaving into it. So it's gonna have to be angled into that wood a little bit. And so as her skills develop and as her hand-eye coordination develops, her strength develops, you can start moving into more advanced stuff like carving.
He made a spoon.
Yep. Because we are not true, or I am not a true bushcrafter. I love being in outdoors, but typically when I go in the outdoors, I'm carrying all the stuff that I need. What I'm starting to get more into is the bushcraft, so I can carry out less and make more of what I need while I'm out. See? There you go. And you don't have to twist away. Just keep going straight.
What he's trying to say is that he wants to go out in the outdoors instead of being a camping and a hiking person and go out with nothing and make his own tools.
Yes, I would like to be able to get out and make all the stuff that I need. But of course, while I'm out, even just on our normal hiking and camping trips, I also want her to be able to participate and learn the same skills that I have.
Why can't you?
All right, now why don't you just go ahead and give it a try of just doing the baseball grip. There you go.
It's hard with these gloves.
And that way you can get a good, and don't be afraid to squeeze that handle. That way you you can get a lot of power behind it. And if you want, I mean, one of the good things that you can do is when you're working in an area like this and you're getting all these shavings, you can save all that so that as we're going to also do videos on fire making skills, because that is a skill that I think every human being on the planet should know.
Why can't you give us a balloon?
Just go ahead and keep.
Guess you'll let it go.
I apologize for some of the background noise. My dad is fixing a door in his house. So
I don't know what.
That's why you hear some hammering. Okay, there you go. Keep longer. And this is something that hand strength is going to have to be developed over time. It's not going to happen overnight, so this is something that you want to consistently work with them on until they develop that skill. So yeah, you can stop. Alright, and now we're going to take a break for just a minute, and I'm going to set up something else that you can also show your children. It's a very useful skill, but you know, the next one is not going to take a lot of fine motor skills.
Bye.
Okay guys, one thing to remember, or a couple of things to remember. One, it's good to take frequent breaks when teaching children. Doing anything for too long is either going to bore them or they will... Okay, let's not do that.
Sorry.
We'll put it in your sheath for now.
Okay.
Oh, and as you can see, make sure that they're paying attention when you're doing stuff.
Sorry.
But, okay, so you want to teach in short increments. Give them time. As long as they're interested, let them work. If they start to lose interest, take a break. Come back another day or later on that day. But also, if they ask to learn something, don't be afraid to at least go ahead and show them and at least have them give it a shot. As long as it's something not too advanced or risky for them. So Baby Clock was just asking if I could show her or if she could try making a feather stick. And so what I'm going to do is show her what to do first so that she sees what it looks like, and then she can attempt it herself. A little sleepy, are we?
Yeah, I woke up at like 6 this morning.
So what I'm going to do, when you want a feather stick, you're going to want to start further out on the knife. You're going to probably want to use like the baseball bat grip, and then you're going to work your way down towards the handle and then stop before it comes off.
But what if it does come off?
Well, that's okay. You just do another one. And then just beside of it, just a little bit, you're going to do another one. And turn the stick just a hair, and you see how I'm working I'm starting up here on the blade, working back towards the handle. So this side's going to lean down and forward.
What does a
pressing
feather stick do?
This is to catch a spark or a flame much easier than just trying to burn the stick as it's whole. So if stuff was damp or wet, or you didn't have a lot of fire starting material or tinder, this takes a spark from a fire still real easy, or if you already got a small flame going, it catches the stick a lot easier. And so what you can just keep doing is, and you just want really thin slices. But you see how this is down, my hand is above it, the tip. And you just keep working your way around, but you only want really thin as you can get shavings without them coming off. That's the goal. If they do come off, you can just use it to help start the fire as well. Use it as tinder. But the goal with the feather stick is to keep them on there. Alright, so you want to go ahead and try?
Okay.
Good. Alright, sit up on your knees. And if you start closer down here, or if that's more comfortable for you, you can just do the stick from here to here for a feather stick. Now remember, hold it for a second. You want to start hand above it and work your way down. See? Feel that motion?
It's easier with you.
Well, I'll give you a little. Oh, that's okay. All right. Sit up higher a little bit. That gives you a little more leverage. Well, no, you're good like that. So that way you're leaning more of your weight into it. There's a little knot right there, so it's going to be comfortable. Just keep going. Get in.
Till you get to the pink part?
Mm-hmm. Alright, now turn it just a little bit, the stick. Just a hair. There you go, just right there. And sometimes, as you see, like I'm doing right now, I'm helping guide her hands. this can be really important too, because it's just giving them that, developing that muscle memory of what to do.
I want to get it big and like you did.
Alright, now turn it a little bit. Okay, you got it. And notice how she does have the stick braced against her body. That's going to help keep the stick from moving and keep giving her control.
How do you weigh a fish?
How do you weigh a fish?
You use their scales.
Alright, now here's what you got to be careful, because here's what she's starting to do. Stop for a second. You notice how she's slowly working her way back up towards her hand. Now, she's done this before. This you definitely have to keep an eye on, because it's just a natural thing, because they have more control close to their hand, but they're also more likely to cut their hand. So make sure you're keeping an eye on where their hands are and making sure the control hand is staying away from the blade. Let's turn it, freeze for a second. Turn this and start down here. There you go. There you go.
Tactical knows how I pick up things easily. I don't believe that.
Well, most stuff she can learn pretty fast. Just sometimes with certain things, it's a matter of hand strength or coordination, and that takes time to develop for anyone.
I'm not good at that.
You will be. All it takes practice. You start right there. You go. That's where you want to start. So you're working your way back up again. Just remember, for this particular task right here, oops.
Come on. All my hard work.
Oh, you were doing good though. You're doing good. Keep going. So just remember, everybody's got to start somewhere.
Come on, again, seriously.
You're getting it. Look at you did pretty good up here, so it's just going to keep taking practice. So.
Can I say that what you did was mine?
What? Oh, this right here?
Yeah.
Well, it's on camera now.
Miss Tactical, no, you did not hear that.
Okay, keep going.
Ah.
There you go. You're getting there.
Oh man, I just lost it.
See, you can even make this a fun event too. Lots of laughs. And the good thing about learning knife skills for outdoor stuff, it also will teach you how to use things around the house. We'll teach them, of course, you know, use of a steak knife once they start using one of those.
We have a whole box of them.
Oh, well, most families do.
It's creepy. But...
everybody uses a knife to eat with.
Oh,
you're doing so good.
I'm done. I'm done.
Okay, let's put your knife back in the sheath. And another thing to remember, and here's what I also want Baby Glock to hear. Anytime they are not using their knife, just like a grown-up, always put your knife back in your sheath. Every time. Now, why would you think you would need to do that?
Because if you just left it lying around, someone could accidentally cut themselves.
That's right. They could easily cut themselves. If somebody didn't see it, they could lean on it, step on it. But also another point is if you're in a, let's just say, a survival situation, and you sat your knife down, and you walked away, it's very possible you'll never see that knife again. They could fall into the leaves because you were messing around, and next thing you know, your one cutting tool, your most valuable instrument, is now gone. So two things. You want this in the sheath so that it will not cut anybody. And typically the sheaths are going to be worn on the belt. That's kind of why I'm going over. You want this to go in here. She just happened to be wearing fleece pants, and so she can't wear a belt with those.
And,
and this doesn't have the kind of pocket clip that she could clip to the edge of those pants. So if your knife is in the sheath and it's on your waist, you can't lose it. Okay?
Unless you accidentally shave it all off. But
well, hopefully you have a good enough knife and a good enough sheath that that's not possible.
yeah, because mine.
Always, as we say, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully this is just a good little introduction. We're going to keep filming different videos we'll keep filming more knife skill videos. Just kind of wanted this to be a good introduction. Don't get that too close to your face. See? You always got to keep an eye on them. All right. I think the next one we'll probably do is going to be fire skills. And then, of course, as she's progressing in the knife skills, we'll keep showing more advanced ones, and we'll go to shelter building and a whole crazy series. We got a whole summer to do a lot of stuff with as well. All right. So in the meantime,
be prepared and have fun.